Hey there, quirky peeps! Today we're gonna look at Loki's crimes against the sacred timeline. Marvel has released the first episode of Loki on Disney+, and it's safe to say that people are absolutely loving the God of Mischief. With this episode, we already have a better understanding of MCU's multiverse. As Miss Minutes explained, a vast multiversal war erupted a long time ago. In this war, countless unique timelines battled for supremacy, and that almost led to the destruction of existence itself. So to stop the fighting, the all-knowing timekeepers emerged and intertwined all the unique timelines into one sacred timeline. We've been following this sacred timeline since Iron Man. Eternals will give us an Earth-based history course of this timeline, but Loki will also tell us more about it through the TVA. And as the trailers have confirmed, the series will also visit multiple branched realities. But with the arrival of the Time Variance Authority, we've got plenty of questions in our minds. The first question is obviously about why the TVA chose to capture Loki, but not the Avengers. Actor Gugu Mbatha-Raw's character Ravonna Renslayer revealed that what the Avengers did was always supposed to happen. Their way was dictated by the Timekeepers, but what Loki did wasn't dictated by them.
You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality. I want you to help us fix it.
The Infinity Stones are supposed to maintain the flow of time, and Loki plucked one of the stones out of its natural path. By doing that, he created a Nexus event and became a variant. With that Nexus event, a branch timeline was created and it had to be clipped off. Hence Loki was arrested for his unintentional time crime. But if this is the case, then why did the TVA not arrest another supposed time criminal? That is Steve Rogers. At the end of Endgame, he went back in time and clipped all the branches by returning the Infinity Stones to where they were taken from. So the TVA didn't have to step in. But according to many viewers, what Steve did after that should have put him on the TVA's radar. He went on to live the life that he never got to live. Smart Hulk said that changing the past does not change the future.
Time doesn't work that way. Changing the past doesn't change the future.
Look, we go back, we get the stones before Thanos gets them.
Then later, the Ancient One told us that removing an Infinity Stone from its path creates a branched reality. So most people think that by living with Peggy Carter, Steve created a new reality. Even the directors of Endgame, Joe and Anthony Russo, confirmed that Steve Rogers created a new branched reality when he retired. But the writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely stated that Steve lived his life in the same sacred timeline of the MCU. He did not create a new reality. Even though what the Russos said makes sense, I definitely think that Steve didn't create a new timeline. Loki has confirmed that the multiverse has just one sacred timeline, and Steve Rogers did not breach that. That's why he wasn't caught by the TVA. Now let me explain how he didn't create a new branch and reality. The reason was actually given by Agent Deke Shaw of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Imagine time as a stream, right? And we were sticks that were thrown into it. The water, it moves us, it moves around us.
But it ends up in the same place.
Right. Now, too many sticks thrown in, and that'll create what's called a dam, and that'll change the direction of the water forever, and that's bad. So,
even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't technically considered to be MCU canon, it still obeyed the laws of MCU's time travel. In fact, it actually made our understanding of time much better. In the very first episode of Season 7, Deke said that time is like a stream of water. If we throw a few sticks into it, a few ripples will be created, but ultimately the water will end up in the same place. But if too many sticks are thrown into the stream, then a dam is created, and the water changes its direction. This dam is actually the Nexus event that Miss Minutes referred to. So in the same way, there are some things that may change a particular timeline, while others may not. For instance, when the Avengers went back to different years in time, sudden new timelines weren't created in an instance. They just created ripples in the flow of the time stream. And as they went back to the future, the time stream ended up as it was supposed to. Loki taking an Infinity Stone out of the timeline would definitely create a branched reality. It creates a dam because Loki gets removed from his dictated path, and he takes an Infinity Stone from his dictated path as well. Thus the TVA is forced to intervene. But if Steve were to quietly live his life going back in time, a new reality wouldn't be created. That's because he didn't do something as major as plucking an Infinity Stone out of its natural order. All he did was become the husband of Peggy Carter. And this would not have created an entire branch in the timeline, because the flow of time was still intact. Steve's entry to the past was just a ripple in the timeline. It did not create a dam.
No, I don't think I will.
This way, he was able to set up a time loop within these dynamic time travel rules. It was probably dictated by the Timekeepers itself. This is why the Time Variance Authority did not go after Steve, but they went after the Loki variant that escaped with the Tesseract. Do you remember when Peggy said that Steve was changing her life even after his death?
Even after he died, Steve is still changing my life.
That's because he was actually living with her. There were always two Steves in the timeline between the years 1951 and 2023. And the old man we saw at Peggy's funeral ceremony was none other than old Steve Rogers. He was hiding in plain sight all along, not making any changes to the timeline that would create a dam in the time stream of the sacred timeline. He only revealed himself after the Endgame battle to pass down the mantle to Sam Wilson. Now it is believed that Old Man Steve is gone, but some people in the MCU think that he is on a secret base on the moon. Let's wait to find out the fate of Old Man Steve. But before I end this video, I'd like to present a theory about Steve in the MCU. Continuing with the explanation of his time with Peggy in the sacred timeline, I'd say that Steve would lead us to Captain Britain. Remember when Peggy was looking for someone called Braddock in Avengers Endgame? My theory is that Braddock could have been Steele's alias while living with Peggy. He obviously couldn't reveal his true identity after going back in time. Maybe Steve and Peggy could have settled down in England so that no one would recognize him. And the likes of Brian and Betsy Braddock could be his children or his grandchildren. So my point is that Captain Britain could actually be related to the former Captain America of the MCU. This is another thing that the Timekeepers probably dictated. Okay, that's all from us. Keep watching Loki for more information on MCU's time travel and the multiverse. And tell us your thoughts about Loki's first episode and our Captain Britain theory in the comments.
Guy, I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
I am smart.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It would also be nice if you guys would hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Don't forget to check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!